I want to revisit the seat again, even though we've measured it. I want to go and see the sheet metal bloke tonight, hopefully, and I need to make sure that the measurements that I had before were right, and I'm not convinced it was quite right. So I'm gonna undo the seat off the base and then put the new seat in and jack it up again and just try that for size and see how that goes. There we go. I've got me blocks of whatever they are, water, stuff for gardens, whatever. Anyway, I'm just using them as a bit of a block up for this seat, so we'll try that and see how we go. Not too bad. Not too bad. I think the other measurements were a bit high. I think we'll run with that. Okay, I'm glad I measured that because I was out 20 mil, it was 20 mil too high. It was probably just a different shape in the seat that made the difference, and different size fat ass perhaps. But anyway, redone that, happy. Move on. I'm going to put a grab handle up here because these boats, they flog along, twin 25s. There'll be hardly any of it in the water, and when you get, if you hit any waves or something like that, it might, you might have to go for the grab rail. So I'm just going to put a handle up here, and that'll work for the steps as well. Just coming in there, just to steady yourself getting in and out. So we'll do that. I'm just using a bit of nickel seizure, anti-seize. Just stops any reaction between the aluminium and the stainless steel. If they ever have to come out, it's a lot easier. Hopefully they won't have to. Oh, damn it. There. Good as gold. Bit of a wipe up with a rag. Solid as. I'd forgotten I had another hatch up the front. So I'll just cut this hole out and then they're all done, ready to go. Ow, ow, ow. It's just a bit of a clean up. There we go. Beautiful. Done. One of the things I'm really keen to do on the front of this boat is get a couple of headlights in it. I've got it on my other boat and they just look awesome, and despite the size, I've actually tested them here, and I get it that it's not on water, but they're awesome. They show a really good light, and if you wanted to cruise at night, there's certainly enough light there to keep you out of trouble, hopefully. But on this boat here, it's slightly different on the front to mine. If this was the same as mine, I already know where all the aluminium is underneath. But this one here is slightly different, as I think what they've done on the inside back here, if I just turn the camera around and show you, back here they've actually put a plank across here and built it up so the nose of the boat comes along like that, steps up, and then they've put another plank here. And then this is a nose cone on the front. This is what I'm theorising, which comes out a bit further and sort of just wraps around and goes back onto there. Now I'm presuming that's the plank there, and I'm also presuming there's a 40 by 40 there and a 40 by 40 there. So I'm going to throw a bit of caution to the wind, calculated caution, and I'm measuring out here, and I'm going to see what space I've got here, and I'm going to cut a hole in this to see if I can see inside that cavity to see whether I can get wiring in. Now it's right in the traffic area here, but because this is all going to be carpeted right out to the front, I can actually just grind this off and put a bit of aluminium over it, and then the carpet will cover it, and you'll never notice it with the carpet. So all going well, hopefully the plan comes together. So I've done my 50s back. I've measured on the inside the back of this anchor well, from the back of that to the front of where the 50mm, or my theory of the 50mm plank is. So that's that, and that brings me back to here. I originally thought they were 40mm, I've rechecked it and it's 50mm, so I'm just gonna, I need to recheck that again, it just doesn't look quite right. Off there, 3 inches, a little bit out. That looks a bit better. Just check that again. Oh, shit. There we go. Winners are grinners. Wouldn't you know it, there's a beam right there, but it might be just enough for me to get my hand in there to feed the wire, so it mightn't be all bad. Saying that, it's also full of foam. To do some more thinking. Just trying to get enough space so I can get the drill in, drill a few holes and just snap that out and then clean it up. It's out, just needs a clean up. There's some sharp edges, and yeah, not as straightforward as I was hoping. Nevertheless, I'll get me lights in, I think. Just got a bit of the foam out just to give myself a little bit more room to see what I can do in there. Full of foam, flotation foam. So I think I've got enough out to be able to get my bits and pieces in for the lights. Anyway, I'll go and get a grinder and clean up these sharp edges which are causing me to bleed, and go from there. Got me bit. least I can get my hand in there without getting ripped apart now. Overall, got me hole through. I've drilled a hole through the firewall or the front of the boat, and it's come in right where I needed it to come in. Not all went to plan, but the point is I can get the headlights in and there's plenty of room and I can see what I'm doing. So I'll order a couple of lights tonight. We'll tape this up, keep the water out of it until we're ready. When the lights come, cut them in and get it ready for the auto elect to come and start wiring up. Well, we're back on the floor still, nearly done. All the floors sanded, all filled, ready for the vinyl planks. But I've got to put a substrate in under the helm, which is what we're going to do this morning. Just replace, put some ply down over that there. And it'll sort of be a loose lay sort of setup. We might just pin it with a little bit of silicone or something in each corner just to hold it in place. It doesn't have to do anything, it's just to cover up the insulation on the floor. And I've already bought a bit of 3mm marine ply, and I'm going to use the carpet we pulled out as a pattern. It's going to be a bit dodgy how we put it in. I'm probably going to have to put it in two pieces because the carpet obviously is flexible whereas the ply is not. So we'll just have to work that and see how we go from there. As you can see, the floor's all done, all finished, sanded, vacuumed, swept, ready to go. Roughed in, go and fit it, then clean it up. Hopefully it'll be okay. So basically in, get the hand plane out and give it a bit of a plane up, refit it, and if it's good, sand it up, and good to go. I've got my panel cut, planed, sanded, and just for the little infills that I had to cut out, I've just used a bit of silver foil tape. Now this stuff sticks to everything and it's really good. I'm hoping that I can put that in and then just move my flap around, which will just support the vinyl when it goes in. But it may not work. Let's see. No. Let's have a rethink. Gonna do it in reverse. I'll put the tape on the top, it won't matter. The glue will still hold it. The tiles, it's a rubberized glue, so it'll be fine. It's really more about having some support under the vinyl. So we'll do that. Oops, I might have to just notch a bit more out of there. It's just not sitting quite right. Well, that's fitting better. I think I'm going to put a couple of dollops of silicone on just to hold it down, but it's not going to be all silicone. It's just a few dollops just to hold it in place because it carries no weight and it's really all under the staircase. So that'll be good. Coffee time, come back, finish that and move on. Finished. Should be good substrate for the new flooring. I want to try and get some solar up here just to trickle charge the battery. The boat wasn't set up for solar, so it's been a bit of a bit of a headache at the minute trying to work out how I can get cables down, because I'm not stripping out the whole boat, and you're just restricted to what you can find as to how you can run cables. But anyway, this is the location on the roof that I'm going to try and put the solar panel on. And I've just worked out that in there, I've just drilled a hole in there to get some power up, or get the solar panel cable down. And I've got a little spot around the corner inside that has worked out okay, I think. So here's my, this is part of the door jamb, and it runs right down, obviously down here. And then this is just a cover strip here. And I'm going to get a Stanley knife and cut that and take those screws out, and that should open up into here. So in there, then I can put the thingamabob on off the solar panel. I forget the name of it now. And then drill another hole, and the batteries are just in here. Batteries are in there, and then I should be able to get about 400 watts of solar there. And if you look up here, right there, I've drilled that little hole, and that's where the cables will come down. And I'm going to run a second cable, hopefully with a switch on it, to set up a light bar across the back of the boat there. And then I'll just make up a cover strap and powder coat that and glue it on. And hopefully up here, when I clean all of this up, I'll be able to get my light bar up there and run a cable to it and get a switch on it, even if the switch is on the outside or somewhere. But I'm sure we'll come up with something for a switch, and we'll go from there. Beautiful. And there's my entry into my batteries and where I'm going to run all these cables. So that's actually worked out good. I'm going to punch a hole through here with a hole saw, and it's half done. Done. Got it. We're just going to lay this out. This is just a ladder that just concertinas out. It's a 3-stage fold-up ladder. I've got the same sort of setup on the other boat. I'm just looking to mount this. I'm probably just going to put 2 bolts through one side, just through the 2.5mm or whatever this is on the top alley, which is welded to the frame, and I'll probably put tap two bolts into there, and we'll just seal them up so no water can get into them. And then somewhere along the line we'll work out to put a grab handle just to help you get in and out of the water. And when this is done, I'll put a little clip on here. This will come out, and we'll just have a little snap over cam lock, and that'll just hold that in place. So that extends, but it can't fold up, and it just holds in place for transit. Works like a treat on my boat, so there's no reason why it won't work on this one. Going to mark out the centres, line this up with the motor. Pretty good. Just doing up the last bolts on these here. I'm only doing them finger tight because they've got to come off later on. But it'll be good for the test. Works good. That'll come across here.